The Aid Management Platform, or AMP, is an online software application through which government officials and donors can track and monitor development projects and programs. In this overview, we'll show you some of the main features of the Aid Management Platform, which allows users to enter and update information on aid activities and generate reports. During the next few minutes, we will be looking at viewing the aid portfolio, looking at project details, adding a new project, and creating and viewing reports. Let's start by logging in. First, we see the desktop homepage, where we can view the entire portfolio. Activities displayed in the portfolio can include investment projects, programmatic funding, or budget support. Some countries use AMP to manage public investment projects. Decisions about what to include are, of course, up to the country. Here we can see a full list of all of the projects and key information about them, such as project title, primary sector, and actual commitments. We can sort by one of these columns to quickly find a particular project. If we want to find projects based on certain criteria, such as donor agency, sectors, financing, location, and other criteria, we can filter the portfolio to find projects more easily. For example, let's click on Change Filters and then select a donor and a sector. Click the Apply Filters button once the filters have been selected. In addition, we have the option of customizing our desktop so that we can view information in any way we want. Creating a custom tab is easy. Just click on the desktop drop-down box and select the Add Tab button. This takes us to the tab generator, where we can choose the columns, hierarchies, and measures. For example, this allows us to sort projects by region, by sector, or we can create a two-level display and view projects by donor agency and then by region. Each user or team of users can customize their own workspace depending on their needs. Once you finish setting up your tab, click Save As and name the new tab. Okay, now let's go back to the desktop and view the details of a particular project. For instance, the WTO Capacity Building Program. Click on the title of a project and you will be directed to the project information page. On the left, you will see the key information pertaining to the project, the commitment information, the date the activity was created, and the name and contact information of the data team leader. You can print the form and export it to PDF to generate a summary report for a project. Click on the Edit button at the top of the page if you wish to make additional changes to the form. The AMP administrator is able to control who has permission to add or edit information, so the government can decide who can make different kinds of changes. Click on the Version History button to see a record of modifications to the form, including the dates and names of users who made changes to the document. The Version History section is very helpful in tracking changes made to a specific activity. To add a new project to our portfolio, let's click Add Activity. You will now see the activity form. On the right, there are quick links to the various sections of the activity form, which make it easier to navigate. Let's go over the basic steps of entering information into the activity form. In the Identification section of the form, we can enter the project title, objective, description, and results. In the activity summary, other descriptive information such as activity status, activity budget, and financial instruments can be entered into the form. Let's type sample activity as the project title and select ongoing as the status of the activity. Now, let's scroll down to the location section of the activity form. Select the implementation level and click Add Locations to specify where the project will be implemented. Let's select Regional for the level of implementation and select Country A, Region 1 for the activity location. You can also enter the latitude and longitude for the project locations and the percentage of the project's funding allocated to each of the locations. Continue to the Program section of the form. AMP allows users to link projects to different development objectives, including the Millennium Development Goals or other national development strategies. This supports better analysis of whether aid is aligned with the country's development priorities. Let's select Education as a development objective for this activity. Next, enter the sectors the project relates to. AMP can be customized so that users can select from various sector schemes, including international standards such as the OECD DAC sectors and national or government sector schemes. For this activity, we are going to select Basic Education as the primary sector. In the Donor Funding section of the form, select the organizations that are funding the project. Then, click on each organization to enter commitments, disbursements, and expenditures. With AMP, users can enter even the most complex types of projects, including those with government counterpart financing, donor co-funding, technical assistance, and South-South cooperation. Next, continue to the Related Organizations section to enter the responsible organization, implementing agency, beneficiary agency, or contracting agency. As you see, there are several other sections in the activity form. These sections allow you to enter more information on regional funding, components, geocoded data, physical progress, and more. The activity form is configured to each country's needs, and additional fields can be added to meet local requirements. Users can add relevant documentation, such as monitoring and evaluation reports, photos, or videos to the activity form using the Related Documents section at the very bottom of the page. Click the Save and Submit button to save the activity and return to the desktop homepage. You may also choose to save the activity as a draft by clicking the Save as Draft button. This activity will now appear on our desktop homepage, which is sorted by the tabs. Instead of manually entering projects, it's also possible to import data that is formatted according to the International Aid Transparency Initiative, or IATI, data standard. Many donor agencies are starting to publish data on their activities in this format. Importing IATI data makes it easy to populate AMP with up-to-date, accurate information. Now that we know how to view and create activities, let's talk about reporting. Tabs are best for finding our projects, but for deeper analysis, let's go to the report generator. By creating report templates, AMP users can save time by setting up the template one time while the system automatically updates the report with the most recent data. Users have a lot of flexibility when setting up reports and can choose from over 100 columns, filter criteria, groupings, and other advanced options. Setting up a report is easy. You may view saved reports by going to the Reports drop-down box and clicking on the Report List button. Let's look at an example of a report. This one is called Projects by Region and shows all the project details that we have selected, like project title, AMP ID, donor agency, and donor groups. We can make changes to the selected filters and report settings and save the edited version of the report. Reports can also be printed in PDF or exported to Excel or CSV. These are just some of the basic reports that you can make using AMP. For more advanced reporting, AMP's multi-dimensional reports enables users to explore data by drilling down and cross-tabulating information with complex analytical queries. As you can see, it's easy to manage your projects and portfolio with the Aid Management Platform 2.0, and you have a lot of flexibility to find and report on the information that's most important to you. For countries that already have data in other systems or spreadsheets, the AMP team can migrate this information into AMP. AMP can also be integrated with existing systems to add new features like flexible reporting and monitoring and evaluation tools that might not exist in other systems. And because AMP is web-based, it can be securely accessed from anywhere. Thank you for watching this introduction to the core features of AMP. We hope you will take the time to watch the demonstrations of the other great features of the Aid Management Platform.